Look, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I get let up. They get not tired of me never. Give me a shot and I swear I shoot like Berettas. Yeah. They getting nervous, I seen it. What I seen, you wouldn't believe it. They say they want it, I need it. Damn, I'm going dumb like I dropped out of class. Get in my lane and I'm going right past. I turn it up, watch me go to the max. You ain't it first and you know that you last. I thought I told them I'm coming right back. I got a flows like it came from the tap, and I came from my city that's right on my back. Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they...
What's going on, everyone? So it's been a while since we've posted. We've had a ton of builds going on. The one we're going to talk about today is the one that I'm currently sitting on. This is my 04 F250 that is now an F350. The story behind that is I picked up a dually F350 back in May of 2024. It was a weird deal. Serial numbers. It was a stolen vehicle that I ended up purchasing from a tow yard. The one thing with that was I couldn't get a title for it. There was no good VINs on the truck, so I ended up having to find a donor truck with a good title. Start in July of 2024, 4 or 5 months later, we ended up finding a donor truck, which is what this cab is currently sitting on. Has a good title. We ended up, as you'll see in the video, swapping a bunch of stuff over, including the whole powertrain, the whole inside of the cab, and a bunch of other components and parts and pieces. So the good truck that we ended up finding with a good title was actually down in Salt Lake City. So one night, ended up driving down there, picked up the truck, and on our way back home, we ended up blowing a tire on the trailer right in the middle of Utah traffic, 5 o'clock on a Friday. There's not a lot of tire shops open that late on a Friday. We ended up finding one in Ogden, Utah that ended up helping us out. They were able to supply us with 4 new tires that we threw on the trailer, and we were able to get home. So once teardown begun on both trucks, I ended up putting them both in my driveway, just side by side. The goal was to take everything out of the dually that had the bad VIN and put it into the new donor truck with the good VIN. Part of that was ripping out the whole interior, everything from the seats to the carpet, all the wiring harnesses, down to just a bare cab. One thing to mention is your VIN number isn't necessarily registered to the frame of the truck, it's registered to the cab of the truck. So in order for me to have the clean VIN, I needed the clean body on the maroon truck, which is what this currently is. And so I ended up taking all the pieces and parts from inside the dually, putting them into the maroon cab. So we ended up starting off taking out everything on the maroon cab, from the carpet, the floor, all the harnesses, everything from, you know, the door panels and all the handles and everything. Back windows got tore off. All the doors got tore off. Fenders, hood, bed, everything down to just where it was an empty shell of the cab. Once that was done, started going into the dually and did the exact same thing.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission the same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this a buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse, I am not impressed. I don't need a rash coming in with last, then you see the flash. Elohim with the melody and the kiss supply the breath. 70, keep it heavenly, everybody get the bread. I got the bread and I got the juice. I got some dogs and I let them loose. Bring in the storm and this ain't the Zeus. Walk in the skies but this ain't the loop. This ain't the cruise. We ain't the same, you ain't have a clue. I'm in the game and untouchable, cause I got the flame and this is the proof. Loading my tote, I still want all the smoke. We ain't talking about jokes, we just talking about more. I see all of my goals and it's looking like gold. I ain't asking for hope, cause I know that it's show. Now you seeing me blow. This is premeditated, I've been underrated, that's an understatement. I ain't coming later, the abundance came when I allowed my bosom to the loving greater. He the one who made it, so I'm in my bag. I died way before I ever raise a white flag. Shooting right back, raise the price tag. Chasing down all of these ghosts to light grab. Who could really stop me is what I ask. Homie, you can never get your time back. Only me and my reflection fight back. That's why this beat gon' probably need a nice pack. Just like the 26, I'm finna run with it. I ain't gon' punt, we ain't taking it knee. I keep the starters and we going farther like T.O. and Philly, we throwing it deep. This only possible through all the obstacles. I went ahead and I found me some peace. It's why my reflection is rocking the cheese. J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission the same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with you.
So once both cabs were emptied out, we ended up taking the dually cab off, taking the maroon cab off, and we noticed on the maroon cab with the frame that I was going to use that the cross member was bent right at the drive shaft where the carrier bearing actually latches on or bolts to the bottom of the truck. Something upon impact had hit that, the drive shaft was out of balance and dented, and then the cross member over the frame was also dented. So we ended up having to take that off, get a new one, put it on. So you see that we had to grind away all the rivet points, put new grade 8 bolts in with locking nuts and Loctite, and replace the drive shaft. So once we got the cross member fixed and replaced, we were able to take the engine, the transfer case, and the transmission out of the dually frame as one unit. And we brought that out, set it on the ground, and we ended up pushing the maroon cabin frame forward and bringing it back to where we were able to take the forklift with the engine and everything and set it down onto the new frame, which is what this ended up being. Because I didn't want a dually, so we ended up putting everything on the single rear frame.
I keep it coming like this is buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse, I am not impressed. I don't need a rash coming in with last, then you see the flash. Elohim with the melody and then he supply the breath. 70, keep it heavenly, everybody get the bread.
I got some bread and I got some cheese. I'm not impressed with none of the steez. Told her myself if it's up to me. Top of the list, I'm running the league, don't run into me. We not the same, the homie compete. I'm in the game, I'm pulling from deep. Lugging a loaf, this is everly. Another loaf, I've been burning toast. Let him tell it, I done done the most. I'm jumping, hopping, skipping, frogging, ribbon over all these gimmicks like I'm jumping rope. I done phone the gold. Hit me with a light, I got right back to it. Future looking brighter than a diamond jeweler. And the reason why, cause I put God in my meals. It's been like this, it's like Sawyer Way. Sauce and everything.
So after we did everything, we ended up taking both beds off of each frame. That was a pain. I highly recommend that you just cut them off and blow them off with an air hammer. We went through about 8 or 9 T40 bits trying to get the bed bolts off. If you're smart, use anti-seize or some upgraded 2020 bed bolts. It'll save a lot of hassle in the long run when you go to take the bed off again. Once we got the bed off, we were able to do some frame prep. The frame was a little rusty, so we ended up grinding off and sanding off a lot of the surface rust and using some Rust-Oleum paint just to help protect it for the years to come. And anything else that we saw as far as wiring, anything we buttoned up, cleaned up before we put the bed and the cab back on.
Bowling A's, I've been legit since the 7th grade, and it's safe to say I control the wave, control my speed, control my pace, clean the G's, let's hold the grace. Please believe I've been running this marathon and my faith gon' hold the place. They saying I win again. Hard act to follow and tough pill to swallow, remind them of sentiment. This gift is a benefit. See, I hate it, nigga sentiment. Ever see me chillin', plotting on millions and counting these Benjis? Just know I got them straight from him again.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this is buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse, I am not impressed. I don't need a rest, coming in with less, then you see the flags. Elohim with the melody, and then he supply the bread. 70, keep it heavenly, everybody get the bread.
Once we got the powertrain and everything in and we tightened that all down, put the new drive shafts in, we actually put the cab back on the new frame and loosely put the bolts in just so we could get it moved around and start to get some of the other components put on, like test fitting the bed and everything once the rest of the components were done. So before we put the bed back on, we ended up, the dually had a gooseneck and airbags for suspension. So we ended up actually taking a lot of the F350 suspension from the dually, putting it on this frame before we put the bed on. So once we got the cab and the bed put on, the reality hit a little bit. And with what I do for a normal day-to-day job, consistently gone on the road. So our timeline on this was relatively short. From the time I picked up the donor truck to when we actually first started the truck and drove it was approximately 21 days. There wasn't a lot of thought behind, not getting it done. We had a time frame to want to finish this. So over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we ended up putting the cab on, putting the bed on, and actually starting the truck up around 3 in the morning. Once the cab and the bed were on, we ended up doing a bunch of maintenance to the truck itself. When we got the dually had a bunch of coolant issues. There was oil in the coolant. So we knew we were gonna have to do an oil cooler. While we were in there, ended up doing a few more things. We did an oil cooler, we did a coolant flush, we did a water pump, did a new belt tensioner, we did the 7.3 fan clutch conversion, which I highly recommend for anyone out there with a 6.0. Obviously an oil change, and we ended up doing a blue spring kit as well to help with fuel delivery.
hope it fires off, but yeah, it's been completely apart. The door's just locked, can't get in now.
Yeah.
Do that a couple times.
Do that again.
Fuck.
Dylan, how long did you have this apart?
In total, 3 weeks. Today, well, yeah, it's Saturday now. It's 3 in the morning. Marks 3 weeks since I picked it up.
Full cab, full engine, full tranny,
Cab
full
swap,
swap.
bed swap, everything.
All full swap. First startup. Hey, you gotta give it a minute. We have no fuel in any of the lines, so.
Once all the maintenance and everything was done to the truck itself, we were ready to start the truck up. We ended up starting the truck at 3:02 in the morning. We all remember this very vividly because it was very late. We had been working all day for about 16 hours to get this thing done. Took a while to prime the system, you know, get oil where oil needed to be, get fuel back in the lines. But once it fired up, we were all jacked. But since it was so late, we ended up waiting till the very next morning, regrouped, and took it for its first test drive. Oh, Zach, there's that car. He's down there fucking stopped.
What's that?
The next morning, once everything was good and going, we got to take it on its first test drive. We didn't take it super far. As you can see, we took the truck without fenders, without the front clip put on, without the bumper. We just drove it around a little bit around my neighborhood just to get a feel for the brakes, make sure that the brakes were working correctly. And honestly, the engine drove and the truck drove just perfectly. I mean, the smiles on our faces say that. I mean, we were very ecstatic. Couldn't believe, you know, that we did this in such a short time frame. And for the outcome that we got, we couldn't ask for a better running truck. So once the truck was running and driving, we got this truck done in end of August 2024. So I've been driving it for a few months. Obviously, with the way we like to tinker with things, I've done just a couple things here and there. One thing that we've done is the 05 front grille. We've done the off-road bumper or move bumper, which if you are looking in the market for an aftermarket steel bumper, highly recommend them. New tail lights, new tires. We ended up doing a Starlight headliner kit inside the truck, new mirrors, a new intake, and a new tuner. So this truck has completely been dialed in. It's been hauling a lot of our new projects that you'll see in the next upcoming videos. So stay tuned. Highly recommend you hit subscribe, hit like on all our videos. We really appreciate all the support, and keep following along for some crazy projects to come.